Here's the question of the week, guys. Borrowing for college. How much money should a student borrow for college? Here's my opinion. 0. You got to work and pay for it.
Okay. That's okay. That's interesting.
And I tell you why. That if you work while you're going to college, it may take you 2 years longer to graduate, but you come out of college debt-free.
Yeah.
That's $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 less.
Right.
Maybe more than that, okay, in state. It tangles you up for years and years and years.
Right.
The real problem with borrowing isn't paying for school, because the cost to go to Kennesaw State is so doggone cheap, it's unbelievable. Okay,
Yep.
and if you have the hope, it's even cheaper. The problem is they let them borrow to cover their living expenses, and that's where I completely agree with you. If you have to borrow to pay for school, fine, because that's what, $8,000 a year, something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to pay for your living expenses, which includes going out and drinking,
Right.
then no, you're going to be paying for this forever.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Okay. Well, I'm thinking room and board, et cetera.
No,
Yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, they can live at home. I
Yeah.
mean, there are,
And let me give a piece of advice out there too: is that rather than going away to school for undergraduate, stay close to home. And if folks within the listening area here have got great universities to choose from at very reasonable costs. You can go to Tech, you can go to Georgia State, you can go to Kennesaw State. There's all sorts of schools around here. Emory sort of prices itself out of the market. You might as well go out and party at Georgia and pay the same amount, you know.
Yeah.
well, look, we've talked about these studies before. It's mind-boggling how much more money you make with a college degree than a high school diploma.
Correct.
But it's also mind-boggling how much less money you make versus getting a college degree from Kennesaw, Georgia State, or UGA versus Harvard.
Yeah.
It's not the percentage increase in how much more money you're going to make by having an Ivy League education is not significantly different from.
That's right.
Right.
And also, if you do want to have that fancy name behind you, get it by going to graduate school for your master's in a year.
Right.
And then no one's going to ever ask you if you got an undergraduate degree from Kennesaw State and you got a master's degree from MIT. There's no one on earth going to care where you got your undergraduate
Oh,
degree.
no, they're going to what? Am I what? You went to Kennesaw.
Right, you know,
Am I who?
we got a bias for Kennesaw, you know,
Right.
fans like that.
Well, I know the college counselors recommend that
mess
you
with
shouldn't,
Scrappy
you
the Owl.
shouldn't borrow more than you could pay back in the first year of your
Right.
working. So
Well, that's
That's
impossible.
Yeah.
It is hard now. It's almost,
Yeah.
that is.
So if you were going to be an engineering student, you had $50,000 or $60,000 you expect. They say borrow that much. Probably the good news is, getting back to your point though, Gene, is the average balance right now. 71% of students have college debt, and the average balance is $29,400. So it's
That's
well
not
below what they
unreasonable. If you go
recommend.
out,
right.
graduate, and have
And actually,
29,000.
while we're beating the subject to death,
Sure, let's
I
beat it
have
to death.
another question for you.
Yeah.
So is it better to take a loan, or is it better for mom and dad to dip into their retirement?
Take a loan.
Oh yeah. Can't
Because-
borrow for retirement, right?
Right.
Yeah, can't borrow for retirement.
Bill, to your point, Georgia Tech students have about a $26,412 average debt.
How much?
$26,400.
Well, that's pretty
So,
good for getting out of Tech.
Yeah, Kennesaw State, $20,670 thereabouts.
Well, that makes
so,
sense.
you know, they got a lesser debt.
Our tuition's
Stick
higher
home.
at Tech than it is at Kennesaw State.
Yeah,
And I think that probably it takes them a little longer to get out of Georgia Tech.
yeah. UGA's lower even than Kennesaw State, believe it or not, $19,600.
Well, that's because other kids with more money go there and
Yeah.
they don't pick up any debt.
Could be.